AEW Dynamite review or what my thoughts. I hate saying reviews because, whatever. This is my thoughts. I think that this was one of their better shows in quite some time. I wrote on my board. Um, there were moments to me that kind of stuck out that I think they did pretty well in, and I want to see more going down the road. And just a couple thoughts on total the Forbidden Door pay-per-view that's coming up, how they're building up to that. Um, Usually their build-ups for Forbidden Door is pretty good because obviously they're not the only company involved. It's not just Tony Khan planning it. So I think it's a little more organized and a little more cohesive around this time of year because of that. But that's another thing. But let's jump straight into it. Mercedes Monet, she got jumped by Sky Blue. Sky Blue revealed herself as the person that jumped her some weeks ago in the dark. AEW never told us who that was. Now we know. It's Sky Blue. Now, I admit I'm not the hugest fan of Sky Blue. I do respect her work though, as far as how much work she puts in, because I do watch some of the indies and she be, on some of those shows. I've seen her wrestle in GCW before, wrestling a guy actually. She puts the work in and she has gotten better. I think that the issue now with Sky Blue is not necessarily her wrestling, it's her personality. Who is she? What is she? Um, I think she needs a lot of character development, and she's kind of just learning it on the fly. So, I was thinking about that match, and I was saying, these these internet nerds, man, they go crazy over Sky Blue, but if you throw her in NXT right now, she's just another chick. Like that's how deep their roster is as far as the amount of women that not only look good, let's keep it real, but they also have personalities. They can talk, they can engage the audience. And it's because, they have all the advantages. They got the, performance center to teach them. So, yeah. So Mercedes Monet won, no surprise. Um, then her opponent for Forbidden Door came out, Stephanie Vacure. I hope I said her name right. She's the CMLL's wrestler, and she's the strong women's champion right now at the moment. So she's, a nice, credible opponent for Mercedes for Forbidden Door for the pay-per-view. So no complaints there. She needed somebody to wrestle, and credit to Mercedes. She wasn't wrestling for a long time, but so far she's looked great. She looks like she hasn't missed a beat. Like she looks really good in the ring. Like so she's been jumping straight into it. So she wrestled over the weekend and then opened the show on TBS to wrestle. So hopefully she's seen more often for TBS because now she's the TBS champion. So there's no excuses. She should be on Dynamite every freaking week, either defending or building to some other story. So on to the Swerve Strickland match with Kill Switch, which was formerly Luchasaurus. Um, they just put a bow on this whole Kill Switch, Christian Cage, the family or the patriarchy. They just put a bow on this. Like him beating Kill Switch, I think was the nail in the coffin for that whole feud. Thank God. Move Swerve on, and later on we'll find out who Swerve is going to face. But Swerve, man, he's built. You can see that the company is trying to give him, you know, matches that's credible until they can build him up ultimately into a match that's more worthy for us to believe in, really. Because Christian Cage is cool, but it's Christian Cage. He's gonna always be good at making his stories and everything, but he's a little long in the tooth. You need somebody young, youthful, and they definitely delivered that later in the show. The Young Bucks came out. They told everybody that they're gonna strip Adam Copeland of the championship because the dude broke his fucking leg or his ankle or whatever jumping off the cage. So now they vacated the title. So they tried to give, predictably they was trying to give the belt to Jack Perry, but Christopher Daniels now, who was let go by the Bucks, is now in charge as like some authority figure, acting EVP for either Tony Khan, or he should have said Kenny Omega, but he said Tony Khan. Like he's acting EVP for Tony Khan, but Tony Khan's the president. So, I don't know. I was confused on that. But he gave me Adam Pierce vibes. Adam Pierce, the general manager from Monday Night Raw. He instantly gave me those Adam Pierce vibes. Like I was like, this dude. And he could talk. If you follow Christopher Daniels' career, especially when he was in TNA, the dude could perform. He could talk. I actually don't have an issue with where they've placed him as like an authority figure because he can get that gimmick over pretty well because he can speak, he can talk. So wait, he came out and then he announced the TNA a TNT tournament to announce the champion. The finals will happen at Final Door, Final Door, Jesus Christ, Forbidden Door. The match will happen at the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, the finals to determine who's going to be the TNT champion. Um, that should be interesting. I have a lot of thoughts on who I think should come out of that tournament. I mean, come on, it's now or never for Jay White, right? I think Jay White should be the top of that fucking list as far as, taking over that vacated title. I mean, give this guy the run we all been waiting for. I mean, he's ready, he's primed. They've just been botching Jay White over and over again. What better chance to correct all those things than now, especially with Juice Robinson coming back and all of that. But I'll get into Jay White a little later. Um, so yeah, they announced that. Great. It's the predictable thing to do, but it's the right thing to do. Sometimes a predictable thing is the right thing, and it's a no-brainer. Yeah, you should probably do a tournament. Now on to the most important part of the show, the Casino Battle Royal. Now, this was great. Like this was an awesome thing to put at the end of the show because it was a bunch of different elements that you had to pay attention to as far as the rules of the Casino Battle Royal, which is dope because it's like you get a battle royal, but you get a false count anywhere at the same time. And anyone could get a pinfall and win the thing and stop the whole battle royal. So in this situation, that's what happened. It's supposed to be 21 guys. We never got to 21 guys because it ended. And long story short, they actually went there. They actually gave the champ the win to Will Ospreay. So that means Will Ospreay will face Swerve Strickland for the world championship at Forbidden Door. Now, this is mind blowing on so many accounts because as fans, look, I love both of those dudes. As fans, we all expect Will Ospreay. We thought that he would be build up through the summer, then face Swerve Strickland at All in Wembley Stadium, which makes the most perfect sense because it's in Britain, UK, his home. But yo, them son of a bitches opted to go for it now. They are going for it right now. So I feel like there's two thought processes for me. It's like on one hand, I think it's a little too early, but on the other hand, it's like, I mean, if you got something else in store for Will Ospreay, which you probably do because now he is the international champion, um, hell, why not just do it now? Um, so that means who's going to fill in that spot for All In? That's another story. So I can think of names. Is that going to be the match that Swerve faces MJF for the main event? That'll be interesting too. But yeah, so Will Ospreay won this thing. Jay White looked like a rock again. Back to Jay White. Jay White looked like a rock star. He was in like every main spot in this match with every guy. Like he's just got this ability to always be present in the most important spots. He's really good at that. Like And I noticed that a lot when he had his feud with CM Punk and FTR, and him and Juice Robinson were putting on these 5-star matches. And he's just so good at being present in the moment and being in the right place at the right time. Like he's just really good at that. And he displayed that in this match. I didn't think he was going to win because I don't think it's the time for him to go for the title yet either. Because again, I think he should get the TNT championship. That is the perfect belt for Jay White right now. The TNT belt, because he would elevate that damn thing. So he had a great showing, but ultimately Will Ospreay won the match, and he is going to face Swerve. Now, I'm excited for this one. The, First of all, Will Ospreay don't have bad matches. The dude is just otherworldly. Like he say, he's on another level. He ain't lying. So with Swerve's unique style, I love Swerve because he can wrestle so many different styles. He can wrestle that fast paced style that Will Ospreay wrestles, and he can slow it down. So this is going to be good. I expect it to be good, but I want to know how are they gonna book this damn thing? Because they're gonna have to book it in a way that makes Swerve look good, but also make Will look good. Because I don't really want Will to lose, but I don't want Swerve to lose yet either, because he just got the belt. So I don't know how they're gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? Is there gonna be some interference coming in? Who knows? Now, this is what I was thinking when it happened, when the match was announced. I was like, yo, this would be a hell of a spot for Adam Page to return. What a spot where he cost Will Ospreay the match, sort of, or he in a way where Swerve wins, but it's because of Adam Page, because Adam Page wants to take the belt from Swerve Strickland, because they got to wrap a bow, they got to put a bow on their feud, and they haven't yet. So that is the perfect chance to put a bow on that feud. I mean, on that whole thing with Adam Page, a whole conclusion. So this is the perfect time for him to show up at Forbidden Door. So that's my prediction, like off the rip, off the top of my head. So yeah, that was really the main points for me of this whole show, man. I was excited. It was a good show. Uh, Forbidden Door, man, that looked like it's about to be a hell of a show. And they're gonna be doing this in New York. At that, I think was that tennis stadium that they go to. Man, it's gonna be a spectacle. Like this might be the first show I'll buy this year. I ain't gonna lie, because Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland alone is worth the admission. So keep it up, AEW. Keep it up. Might you might actually figure this shit out after all.